Good morning, Jesuit, and welcome into the Jtnn Morning Show. I'm Cameron Ruff.
And I'm Maxim Yogis. Today's Thursday, November 29th. Last Thursday, we scarfed down stuffing and turkey and slurped some gravy and mashed potatoes as we celebrated a hearty Thanksgiving meal. But the Sunday before Thanksgiving, Jesuit students and staff delivered the gifts of a Thanksgiving meal to 100 families in the Tampa Bay area.
Thanks to the generosity of the Jesuit community, 140 frozen turkeys were donated by the Dad's Club, and more than $3,500 was raised through homerooms and raffles. Thanks for all of your support, and congratulations on another successful Thanksgiving drive. And speaking of giving back to less fortunate in the community, we have a club here on campus that is doing great service work throughout the Bay Area.
Thanks, Cam. The Jesuit Key Club has been a fixture on Himes Avenue for 15 years and counting, and is ranked among the best key clubs in the nation, and even the world. Key Club President, Senior Cameron Hooper, sat down in the studio with Patrick Lloyd to talk about some of the great service opportunities and events that are on the horizon in this week's segment of In Focus.
Good morning and welcome to this week's segment of In Focus. I'm Patrick Lloyd alongside today's guest, Senior Cameron Hooper, the president of Key Club. Cameron, thanks for coming onto the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, obviously, Key Club has their biggest event of the year coming up, the Putt-Putt event. Tell me more about that.
Well, this is our 14th year that Key Club is doing the Putt-Putt event. Basically, what we do is we go each year and have the Jesuit community come and participate with the Grand Prix of Tampa. What you do is you get 1 round of golf, 10 game tokens, a goodie bag, and a t-shirt, and you just go and get service hours, and you just play putt-putt and have a good time.
You mentioned that the proceeds go to New Life Village. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, if you remember earlier this week on Monday, we had a nun, Sister Claire, come in and speak to everyone at the school. She is the founder of New Life Village, and what her goal is to have an entire community focused around having adopted children living there and their families. So it would be specifically children 8 and older with their adopted families living in a community surrounded by loving surrogate grandparents, adopted parents, and all their friends and neighbors would be other adopted children. And what they did basically is they took these abandoned townhouses they found. Sister Claire bought them, and she is wanting to refurbish them and prepare them for the families to move into and help them pay rent. And that's where our proceeds will be going to.
What aspect of this event stands out to you personally?
Well, personally, it's not the Putt-Putt event that stands out to me, but it's actually with the organization that we are donating to. We actually go and do service with them. It's not just donating. We actually get involved in their organization, and we in this case, we're going out and helping the New Life Village with all the required manual labor needed. We go out and trim the lawns that need to be trimmed, and we clean up the abandoned houses, and we're just getting it prepared for these families. And that's the most personal part, is actually getting involved with the organization we're donating to.
You also mentioned earlier that you try to raise as much money as possible. Do you have a specific goal?
Well, for the Jesuit community as a whole, our specific goal is $15,000. That is a big amount, but that's something that we've raised in the past. Last year, I know we've raised $11,000, so I'm just trying to push that a little further, add on an extra $4,000, and that's our goal, $15,000 from the Jesuit community. The time is from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and where you can sign up is up in the counseling center mainly, is where we'll keep all the forms, or just show up at a Key Club meeting Wednesday mornings. And we have the registration forms of $15, and you just fill out a simple half sheet, and you're registered, and you can come have a great time at Putt-Putt.
Cameron, thank you so much for joining us on the show this week.
Thanks for having me, Patrick.
That's all we have this week for In Focus. I'm Patrick Lloyd. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Patrick. Mrs. Charette wanted us to note that there are ongoing service opportunities throughout the year with New Life Village. Also, if you want to sign up for any Key Club service opportunities that are open to all students, then make sure to stop by the Counseling Center.
Now let's take a look at what's coming up in the next week in this segment of Tiger Tracks. The varsity basketball team looks to stay undefeated against Blake at 7:30 p.m. Friday night in the Tiger Palace. Also on Friday night, varsity soccer squares off against Jefferson at 7 p.m. And Jesuit Wrestling shells across the state this weekend for the Space Coast Duels.
On Monday, we will celebrate the feast of the famous Jesuit missionary and companion of St. Ignatius, St. Francis Xavier. Remember to bring your coat and tie for Mass. And lastly, we will have our blessing of winter sports on Wednesday morning.
That's a wrap for today. As always, thanks for tuning in to Jtnn. I'm Cameron Ruff.
And I'm Maxim Yogis. For everyone here at the Jesuit Tiger News Network,
Don't have a rough day.
have a great day.